This is Paul. Yeah. Yeah, I'm reading this dictionary. Yeah. And I'd gone to a meeting, and it was a good meeting. Yeah. And I got to thinking about a few things while I was sitting here. It seems that there's some concern about my rights as an American citizen. Yes. You know, I had emailed some of those that are in law enforcement about my right to due process and how you can't issue a protection order for 10 years. Now, I could be wrong on that, but it seems like they're always giving themselves some sort of exemption on why they don't have to do what the law says. So, you know, I made mention in the last video series called Hell, that considering me as needing to have a mental health evaluation when I can read what the law says, and you issued a protection order where the petitioner didn't sign it. I wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard. You issued it for 10 years. Now, when every protection order for the last 6 years required a mental health evaluation, but in 2011 and 2012, no less than 5 times did you issue protection orders where you didn't enforce my constitutional right to due process. Now, I oftentimes have put in an email, you violated my right to due process. You violated my constitutional rights. To violate is to break the law or a rule, to disrupt or disturb a person's privacy. Now, I know when you're in a judiciary, you say, well, we're going to issue protection order because of the supposed child abuse or domestic violence. But we're not going to give the respondent any notice or opportunity to be heard, and by default, the petitioner is going to get whatever she wants. You violated my privacy as an American citizen, and you violated the privacy of my 5 biological sons. Now, it might not seem that important to those that are judges and justices about why it is that citizens would not want to be involved in the judicial system. But my experience has been that any time you have an arrest, any time that there's some sort of lawsuit or something that takes place where you actually are obligated to go to court, it really disrupts the normal daily activities of being a citizen. Now, let me give you an example. You decided you were going to take custody of my sons away from me without any due process. And then you were going to disrupt my private life for the last 6 years. And then I spend every day for the last, 23 months emailing those that have the legal obligation for the enforcement of the law. Now, you thought I liked sitting around writing emails all day long, as if I wouldn't prefer doing something other than emailing those that have been maintaining criminals because of their refusal to enforce the laws of the United States. Now, when you get involved in the judicial system, you violate the constitutional rights, meaning you break the law because you issue a protection order where the petitioner didn't sign it and I wasn't given actual notice and opportunity to be heard. Then you arrest me on January 4th when I wasn't in SQUIM on December 31st. Then you have me go to jail for 27 days because I missed a mental health evaluation when I didn't need a mental health evaluation. What I needed was a law enforced. It seems that those in judicial systems just don't respect the private lives of citizens. Now, I've spent, for the most part, the last 2 years emailing and making videos and spending all day long, every day, trying to get somebody to enforce the laws of the United States. And you would say, well, his time is not as important as my time. I mean, sitting here on the street doing nothing, I'm not in a hurry. But for every lawsuit and liability that refused to enforce the privacy of my life and respect that I could be doing something else with my time, it could be that violating my constitutional rights for the last 6 years has caused me 6 years of homelessness, 6 years of selling cigarettes, 6 years where I wasn't able to talk to my sons or embrace them as their father, 6 years of having to walk around. Now, it must be that those elected, appointed to office, don't really respect the time of citizens' lives. Now, I may mention that there's a good probability that I'm actually a trillionaire, and that your billions are no longer covering the losses of my trillions. And as much as you think you're so important, you have to realize that my time is worth more than yours. Now, you involved me in your judicial system without giving me notice or opportunity to be heard. Now I'm involving myself in your lives. Now that would be every elected and appointed oath of office in the nation.